Hi everyone, Jonathan here. Here is a very little FastAPI project I have started. Now this contains a basic setup with UV, and I have my source folder being the main folder in which my FastAPI app is going to be located. Inside it, I've added this init.py file that's going to be where I'm going to create my FastAPI instance, and it's going to be the main entry point to the entire project. So all the other packages and folders will be found in source. Now the thing I wanted to show you is that you can now basically describe the main entry point to your FastAPI app without needing to provide it as an argument to your FastAPI-CLI. And now FastAPI supports it by the use of the pyproject.toml file. So in pyproject.toml, you can specify a section by simply adding a table with the tool that you want. But for this case, for the FastAPI-CLI, you can say tool.fastapi. And here is where you can provide the entry point to your app by specifying entry point and then pointing to where that is going to be. So in this case, we can point to source app. Since source is a package, it has the app instance defined in there, and doing that will be just enough to help us run our FastAPI server without having to specify the app. So if I come right in my terminal right here, have to make sure I'm either in my virtual environment, but since you're using UV, we can do something like UV run FastAPI, which is already installed. Make sure you have FastAPI already installed, and then you can run your app with dev. So that will start your server, and it will see your app as one that's located within your source folder. So just like you see right here, using import string source app. But if you had our app running in main.py, then you could specify main app as your entry point to the entire project. You can also run FastAPI run by saying UV run FastAPI. Let me try to make that go away. And then UV run FastAPI run, and that will run the server in the production kind of environment. Okay, thanks for watching. I just thought I would share that, but it's a really nice feature that has been added to FastAPI.